AITA for randomly moving out of state after finding out my ex-fiancé cheated on me? I, 19F, and my ex-fiancé, 31M, were together for almost 3 years. We even had a child together, 4M. He was adopted into an amazing loving family because I was unable to take care of him as I was a freshman in high school at the time and was relying on my retired grandma for support. My ex-fiancé made no effort to help us whatsoever. For some context, this wasn't the first time that it happened, and it was with the same girl. We'll call her Amy. Amy was a somewhat popular girl on TikTok, mainly for thirst traps. My ex-fiancé, we'll call him Mark, had talked to her a year before this on TikTok and Discord without my knowledge and said she was just a friend whenever I brought up my suspicions. Mark said he would stop talking to her as it made me uncomfortable, and I unfortunately believed him. Jump to a year later, I was with my best friend, we'll call her Lele, going to a circus with some of her family. Earlier that day, Mark had to me was going to a friend's house, which was in a completely different state than he was actually in. Me and Mark shared our locations for safety purposes, in case either of us needed help and couldn't access anything else. When I looked to see if he made it safely, he was in Ohio, where Amy lives. I then check her location via Snap Maps and saw that she was at the same place he was. I then text Mark and ask him why he is with her and provided screenshot proof that he was. His excuse was her dad is sick and dying and she really needs a friend to help her move. I saw nothing wrong with that reason except for the fact that he lied about where he was going and who he was seeing. He also could have talked to her over the phone instead of going to Ohio, which was 6 hours away from where we lived, when he couldn't even make the effort to come see his own son after he was born. At that point, Amy started texting me on Snapchat, calling me names, and saying I was crazy. Mark had lied to her and said I was stalking him when I had proof that he was willingly sharing his location, not to mention the fact he was at my house a couple days prior. On her TikTok, she had links to all her other social media profiles, including her Discord server. Me and Lele then went to her Discord server and put her on full blast. Amy was all about PLUR, peace, love, unity, respect, yet was attacking me, who was a minor at the time. I showed all of her followers who she really was, and only a handful of people actually believed us because majority thought Amy could do no wrong. We had all the proof we needed, and then Amy posted a TikTok with my ex-fiancé in it, which just solidified what we were saying. Still, only a select few believed what we were telling them, despite all the evidence we had. They even helped us when we wanted to bring down her Discord server and TikTok. We successfully got Amy's Discord server deleted because of the sheer chaos we caused, and she also made her TikTok private afterwards. Fast forward roughly a week, Mark was at my doorstep begging me to come back. I said yes only because he provided me money, which I needed to help my grandma with her bills. I had been talking to a guy from Amy's server throughout that time and was slowly falling for him. I continued talking to Mark unbeknownst to him. I was talking to another guy the whole time about leaving the state. We'll call him Jerry. Jerry was very loving and goofy and overall a complete 180 from my previous relationship with Mark. One day the discussion of me moving to Texas to live with him came up. I really liked the idea and I hated where I lived already, so we started planning my move to Texas. It took about a month, but by then I was ready to go. I packed majority of my belongings and got ready for my flight. Mark had no idea. I was nervous and kinda scared, but also really excited. That next morning, I got to the airport and I was ready for my new life with what I hoped to be a better man, and he is. I never imagined I'd love someone so much. I had blocked Mark on everything, and my grandma had called me the next day telling me how Mark was calling her nonstop asking about me and where I was. She had told him the truth. She is a terrible liar, and she said he was absolutely distraught. I didn't care. I was happier than I had ever been, and I absolutely love it here in Texas. Jerry is an amazing boyfriend, and I wouldn't sell him for a potato chip. Mark still tries to contact me on social media, but I block every new account he makes. Mark then tried contacting me again saying he was in the hospital after trying to end his life. He used this tactic often to win me back, but it did not work this time. I love the man I'm with, and if he really tried to end his life, he would have succeeded. That was my final straw. I got an order of protection on him, and now I don't have to worry about him contacting me anymore. So Reddit, am I the a-hole?